All right, now Congress returned to Capitol Hill this week in the midst of a mortgage bailout. Are lawmakers likely to support another bailout in the future? Let's ask Congressman Scott Garrett, Republican of New Jersey, a frequent guest on this program. Congressman, welcome back. Good to see you.
It's good to be back. It's raining down here, but I'm glad to be with you.
It's raining up here as well, I might add, in your constituency, of which I am a member. So there you are.
That's right.
All right, more bailouts, a bigger deficit. One of the themes on this program is if you've got these ballooning deficits, can you get any kind of meaningful tax cut from either candidate next year?
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, clearly you're not going to get any meaningful tax cuts from the other side of the aisle. I'm Republican, as you know, and Obama has not talked about any real meaningful tax cuts. Senator McCain has in the past and during this campaign talked about sustaining the tax cuts that have already been put in place in 2003. And I think it's critical that we maintain those existing tax cuts, do absolutely nothing to raise taxes on the American middle class, because quite honestly, no one has ever convinced me that the solution to the problem in Washington of the burgeoning debt that we have is by raising taxes on anyone else in this country.
Now, you've said frequently that you don't like bailouts. You didn't like the Fannie and Freddie bailout. Okay, but look, more bailouts are coming down the pike, specifically from Detroit, maybe another Wall Street firm, maybe another stimulus package. Is there any kind of bailout which you would vote for?
Well, if we can bail out the American middle class, I support that. And so that if we continue as I said a second ago, the existing tax cuts, make sure that they don't go up. And yes, if we can lower the taxes on the middle class. And actually, I did drop in a piece of legislation, I guess, at the beginning of this term. And it would, it's the Economic Growth Act. What it would do is, in essence, lower our capital gains tax, lower our corporate tax rates. As you know very well, the United States is one of the highest capital gains, one of the highest corporate tax rates. There's a disincentive in many ways for businesses to stay in this country as opposed to go overseas and create jobs. That's the type of tax cuts that we should be talking about. That would be the best thing we could do to actually get the economy moving, not these handouts of dollars.
Forgive me for asking the question, Congressman, but I suspect that your heart is not in John McCain, but your heart is in Governor Sarah Palin. What do you say?
Well, I think much of America's heart right now is with Sarah Palin.
But you know what I mean, Congressman. I'm not talking about my heart. I'm talking about where my economic heart lies. Put it like that.
Well, I mean, I probably side with a number more issues that she has come out with as far as her positions and as governor. She has a tremendous track record, I think, of supporting business community and the family community in her home state. She does that by saying that we need to stimulate the economy by helping businesses, not by getting in the way. But, you know, Senator McCain had this comment or quote on one of the programs the other day, and I thought it was a great one. He said, "We don't need government in front of us blocking us. We need government on the side of us, working alongside of us." And I paraphrase that. He said it a little better than I did. I think both the senator and the governor will walk hand in hand on these issues. They will be with the American public on trying to keep taxes down. They will be with the American public on trying to get the government out of the way and let the economy grow.
Congressman Scott Garrett, always a pleasure. Come back and see us again soon. We thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it.
I appreciate the chance. Thanks so much.
Now back to the presidential candidates. Our guest Peter Morici earlier said on this program that Obama and McCain can still stick to their tax cut promises despite massive deficits. Let's ask Jim McTague from Barron's magazine if he agrees. All right, same question. We've posed it throughout this program. In the face of ballooning deficits, can either candidate, if elected, stick with any kind of tax cut?
For the short run, they can. By the way, Senator Obama this weekend said that he would not raise taxes on anybody if the economy is weak, so we applaud him for that. He's following our advice. But I think, Stuart, going forward, we have a revenue problem in this country, and we're going to have fundamental reform of the tax system so that it's fairer and simpler and probably flatter.
Well, not going to get it, though, are we, Jim? I mean, that again, is kind of a pie-in-the-sky thing. Yeah, we'd love it, we'd like it, we were all for it, but realistically, you're not going to get radical reform of the tax code anytime soon.